Dennis Weiss, back here with another citizen to talk about the proposed Justice Center. This young man is a superintendent over at Solomon, and you do a program on Eagle Communications.
We do
USD
once a month,
update.
once a month, and so we enjoy that. We're very appreciative that Eagle gives us that opportunity.
Justin Cope. So you do a great job, by the way.
Well, thank you.
I think of all of the schools that do a USD update on Eagle Communications, you've done the best job of taking it once we leave and pushing it out into the public. And we see it in that how many views that show up on the various sites. So well done. Social
media is a great thing and a bad thing sometimes. And so it's been a great way to get sort of in the, we've always known how great Solomon is, and it's given us the opportunity to get it out there and push it out there on social media with thanks to you guys.
Okay. So I didn't call you to show up here. Why are you here?
Well, I'm here, you might say it was probably 6-7 months ago when the committee was put together and they asked me to serve on it, and I said, you bet. Coming back to Dickinson County after teaching down in Marion County and then up north in Nemaha County, and as being a principal up there, and settling here as superintendent at Solomon and coming back to Dickinson County where I grew up and was born and raised, you know. I just thought it was the right thing, one, to become more informed, not really being removed from everything that's happened in the updates, and coming back into the courthouse from when I remember it. I still remember the extension agency being up in the courthouse and coming in and getting your fair entry forms and picking up the cards. So for me, it was also an educational piece. And then after going through the educational piece and meeting several times, several different months, and then doing the tour, you know, you just learned a lot about what actually needs to be updated and upgraded for the safety just of the people upstairs. And I always go back to the courthouse and going into the courtrooms and the two different courtrooms and in the hallways you're waiting in to go to court and the interactions that you shouldn't have during those times. And so that was probably the thing that really stuck out to me. Obviously the jail upgrades, when we actually toured the jail itself, those upgrades of course are a necessity, but for me it became very personal, and I guess that's probably the educational background for me, and developing that relationship with kids on a daily basis, and then seeing that, you know, those kids that might go through something difficult then might have to sit through another horrendous traumatic event possibly, you know, if they did have to go to court on something that might have been evil. So my heart really, I was thinking as a kid, you know, and having to sit there, or even a father or mother having to sit there of something that might have happened bad to their family.
You have a special insight. I think you might be able to help people voting on the expenditure of dollars. You represent an organization that goes to the public and says, we need money to educate your kids. But you also go to the public and say, you know, we need some money for our capital needs to improve our building or redo parts of our building. Solomon, you weren't here when it was done, but Solomon spent some money on schools a years back, and you're living
22 years ago.
And
it's hard to believe time passed away. Yeah, wow. 22 years ago.
So you show up every day and you understand maintenance, you understand money to rebuild, and so the process, as you've been on that committee for the county and now the city working together on this, has it been a good, fair process, and are we looking at a good, fair plan?
Well, I think it's been a good dialogue. I mean, the one thing that I think you've involved many stakeholders. One, I think that they've been very fiscally responsible, meaning that they've saved for this. This isn't as if they don't have anything in the bank per se. They have been taking a portion every year and allocating those mills towards that and towards the improvement and towards this possible project. And so I think that's fiscally responsible. And from my understanding is that, you know, they're not going to have to necessarily raise new taxes for the facility. It would just be continue to allocate those dollars towards the facility. You know, obviously that doesn't mean you're never going to raise taxes. You can't say that.
That's right.
Because you don't know what other expenditures might come up along the way that aren't related to the facility. Because there's obviously general fund expenditures. And I don't need to get into a budget workshop here, but you know, there's other things that come up that might have to happen. So definitely it's something that I'm happy that the commissioners have looked at the long-range needs and have started budgeting accordingly, not just now, but in the past.
I'm one of those people, Justin, when people say to me, taxes are not going to go up, I go, don't say that, don't say that.
Exactly.
Just don't say that. Because it's still taxes.
It is still
All I
taxes.
want to know is this necessary? And if it's necessary, are we spending our money wisely? That's the only thing I want to know about any capital decision by a tax-funded agency. I've asked all the questions to my satisfaction about this project, and I believe it's absolutely necessary. And I think that there have been a wide variety of people who have worked this issue very hard, and I think they're making some wise decisions on our
Very
behalf.
much so.
But it still costs taxes. You and I are going to pay it. You too. You live here. All of us are going to pay for this thing. But the question is, and I'm going to ask you as we get ready to run out of time, are you happy they're spending your money doing this?
Well, I think it prepares us for the future, and hopefully a future to where when you do this, it's something that keeps it stable to where you don't have to go back and ask again and again and again. You hope that it's a one-time deal, and there's been a vision and there's a plan for the future, and that's exciting. And you know, having the commissioners, and you go back to saying, you know, you want them to spend it wisely. We elect the commissioners to do their
Right.
to do their jobs, and I think they've done a good job of really looking at it. And obviously, Brad as county commissioners put the time in, and the group and the committee has gone through it. But the groundwork, they've done a very good job of being responsible, fiscally responsible, and really having a set plan for the future of Dickinson County.
Okay. Justin Cope put his stake in the sand. He'd be happy to talk to you if you run into him on the street. I found out he's a pretty friendly guy. You know, for a superintendent, you're a pretty friendly guy.
Well, good. That's a good thing.
Yes, it is. It's a great thing. You can ask him all the finance questions because as a superintendent, you're also the CEO and the COO of the school district over there. You have to understand public finance.
In a small school district, you wear many, many hats.
Yes, you do. Okay. Thanks for coming in.
You bet.
I would shake your hand, but I'm not going to today. How's
Okay,
that?
that'll work.
All right. For Eagle Communications, I'm Dennis Weiss. This is Justin Cope. He works for you over at the Solomon School District. Feel free to stop us on the street, say hello. We wish you a great day.